Hello everyone and welcome to my Nightblade healer build updated for the Deadlands patch. So on this build, as you can see, we are playing as a Argonian, and I'll go straight into the spreadsheet. Unbuffed attributes are pretty decent. Our max magic is 35, our health is 33, and 30 to 31 max dam depending on if I'm on the back bar or not. Our spell damage is pretty healthy, sitting at 2.3, that's unbuffed. If you have access to major sorcery, either through Dragonite Armament or potions, by all means do so. It will go up at least close to 2.7. Our physical and spell resistance are also pretty decent. They're sitting at 2.7 and 2.8 buffed on the back bar. 2.6, 2.4, sorry. That's also unbuffed by Magma if I'm buffing up with Magma nicely. There you go, 26, 29. With major and minor resolution. 2.7 with Magma buff, and that doesn't include the potion yet. Our region on the back bar is 1k magical recovery. And yes, you read that properly, I'm running on 1k mag and 900 on the front bar. Our Mundus stone for this build is the Steed, which will give us great speed and a little bit of health recovery. Our food is lungfish pasty, but by all means please take Bewitched Sugar skulls. I've just taken this food as an indicator, and also for the sake of this build, it's about to run out anyways. We are also running as a vampire, but I recommend stage 3 for the undead passive, which will reduce your damage taken by up to 30% depending on your missing health, kicking in at 50%. For the sets, it goes as follows. It's probably not going to be a big surprise for anyone, but for our monster set, as I said, I'm still running Magma. In my opinion, it's, as it is right now, one of the best sets. I like it. I love it. It's just too good not to run it, honestly. I know you could potentially run Bloodspawn instead. It would still work very well. You'll have some extra tankiness and more ultimate regen. But I don't know, I just like Magma better than any other healer set, really. The first 5-piece set we're wearing is Arkasis Genius, which you can find in Stone Garden. It gives us max health, armor, and max health again. And whether you drink a potion while in combat, this is important, you and 3 other group members gain 44 ultimate. This can occur every 30 seconds. So when you're fighting, your group, well, your 4-man group, because it's limited to 4-man content, or 4-man groups, will gain always 44 ultimate whenever you drink a potion. We're wearing it on the chest heavy infused, the legs heavy infused, because that's where we're getting the most armor and the highest enchantments off, and on the jewelry to complement the 2 pieces for the 5-piece bonus on both bars. The whole jewelry is arcane spell potion cooldown reduction, which makes it that our potion cooldown aligns with Arkasis. It's 30-second cooldown rather than 45. For the second 5-piece set I'm wearing Lamia, which is one of the base game sets you can find in Arx Corinium. I'm running it on the weapons and the 3 remaining body pieces, namely Restoration Stuff Empowered, back bar Defending, and Reinforced. You could eventually change it on Sturdy or even well-fitted. I'd rather recommend well-fitted, since I'm not blocking much, so sturdy is not really gonna... It's not gonna help us build much because I'm not really blocking. And I'm also wearing the belt, the gloves, and the legs as Lamia, which also helps me. I'm having 3-piece heavy, 3-piece light, and 1-piece medium. It helps with having the Undaunted passive active, as well as mitigating the armor buffs and debuffs. Namely, I'm taking as much damage from magicka attacks and from stamina attacks with the changes to well, the penalties and bonuses to armor passives. It helps me spread out my armor better. For the skills I'm using on the front bar, Energy Orb obviously for the synergy and the resource return is also a very nice heal, area of effect, and overtime. Rapid Regen, I think I don't have to explain this anymore. Dark Cloak is our armor buff with our shadow passives. It gives us major resolution, and it has been changed to give us a stronger heal, as well as access to minor protection for 12 seconds. This is very strong. I play it on the back bar, on the front bar, because there's a very strong self-heal attached to it. It will also proc Magma if you can't or don't have Rapid Regen up, which you shouldn't. Refreshing Path is your AoE heal. It's also tied to your armor buff, since it will also proc the shadow passive, which gives you major resolution, and it also gives you minor expedition for 4 seconds, which will make you very slippery since you'll be moving so fast. So try to keep this up most of the time. It will help you. It will maybe set you a little bit off because your speed on this build will be very fast. You might have to get used to it, but once you get used to it, you'll see when you change to a slower build, it's gonna feel very odd. And our 5th skill on the front bar is Healthy Offering. It was changed. Now you can heal yourself and an ally for 10k while draining your own health over 3 seconds, and you also have a nice access to minor mending. So if you pretty much just heavy attack, you have major mending, use it, you have minor mending, and you proc Magma for 10 seconds while having minor mending for 8 seconds and major mending for 3 seconds, your heal is gonna be insane, while just doing a heavy attack followed by the skill. Our ultimate is Life Giver, so it's the Restoration Staff ultimate that casts all your restoration skills at the same time. It costs us 130, so pretty cheap, and with the Lamia buff, with the Lamia set, it still gives us pretty nice resource return attached to it. So the only thing you have to think about is, with this ultimate, don't forget to level your other restoration skills, because even if they're not slotted, they will be cast, which also means that while Life Giver is up, it gives you this 5-second window where you have minor berserk because of combat prayer for 8 seconds, so more damage, and you have ward ally, which means a little shield. It would make you tankier. So this ultimate pretty much can save your life, but it can also give you a great opportunity for attacking and going very aggressive on the enemy, because you'll just have these 5-second windows where you can't be killed pretty much. For the passive, of course, you take all the passives, but I guess I don't have to go into details with this. On the back bar, we are using siphoning attacks, which is going to be one of our magicka management tools. The you have to run it out. You have to let it run out in order to gain V max. So that's something you might have to get used to, but you get used to it, and you'll see if you don't let it run out, your magicka will struggle. So it's very important you let it run out, because that's where some of your regen is going to come out. And you'll see with your potions being tied to a 30-second cooldown and siphoning attacks being on 20-second cooldown, you can just have a very nice cycling where every 50 seconds your resources go up. And what I mean is, if you can find this, it will need a lot of getting used to, but you need to find this good rhythm between having your pot up and then your siphoning attack kicks in, but your potion is always almost up again, so you're not losing on resources that much. That's how you do it. Like, you have to find this good balance between your potion cooldown and your siphoning attacks cooldown. And when one is up, the other is going up, like it's on its way. And when siphoning is down, then your potion is on its way. And that's how you have to do it, and that's how you will sustain even the toughest fights. And if that's not enough, you still have Life Giver, which thanks to Lamia will give you a lot of resources. So you shouldn't run dry. Even with 800 regen, you will not run dry. It just takes some getting used to. Our fourth skill is Mirage, which is one of our... It gives us access to major evasion. It's just too strong not to have it. Also, Nightblade being the only class having easy access to major evasion on a magicka build, because on other builds you have to run Shuffle or Gossamer or be a Warden to have minor evasion. So just use it. It's there, it's free, almost free for the taking, so it's a shame not to have it up, but be wary that you need to have this up all the time, because major evasion is just too big not to have. Master's Area is very strong. It's your protection peeling tool for when you're getting outnumbered and most of the time attacked by gankers. It will help you and it will save your life because it will stop them from ganking you. So it's pretty funny, because the best way to fight fire is be fire, I guess. Just fight Nightblade with Nightblade. Then our fourth skill is Elusive Mist. That's also, I don't think I have to explain this. It's too strong not to have. It's one of the reasons why we're running a vampire anyways. It's just, Mist is just so good. And the other nice thing is you can associate Mist with Shadow Image, which is our last skill. It's our get out of jail, and this is what will make you very difficult to kill. It is Shadow Image, because you put it down, you put your shade down, and while it is summoned, you can teleport back to it. I'll just show you a little demonstration. But if you're playing Magic and Nightblade, you know how this works. Like, it's your go out of jail. Like, you put it down, you just have to be aware of the distance. As long as it's yellow, you can still teleport back, and you see the range is very big. It's your get out of jail tool for kiting, so if you're having lots of people on you, you need to kite here around the corner, make them run up, boom, you're down again, and you have a little bit more space for buffing up, healing, and so on. But you have to be wary. It happened every now and then. If you're being heavily outnumbered, some people will just sit on your shade and they will ulti dump you as soon as you come back. It's frustrating, but it will happen, and if it happens, it means you're doing something very right. If people are willing to take some of their time to sit on your shade, wait for you to come back, and then use their most strong ability on their build to just kill you, you're doing something right, believe me. And anyway, for our last skill on the back bar is of course reviving barrier. Like, I don't need to explain this, it's just so strong. The other nice thing is why I have it on the back bar, obviously because life giver is on my front bar, and it's also, it takes on all your resistances, so it's strongest on your more resistant bar, and it's just really nice to when you're in mist and you come out of mist and you can just barrier straight away. It will save your life, same as shade. Shade will also save your life. Anyways, now for our champion points. For the green CP, we are using Sustaining Shadows, which reduces the cost of sneak by 5%. A Steed Blessing, which increases our movement speed out of combat by 20% or 80% per stage. I have 5 stages. Rationeer is where it gets different from my other builds. It adds 10 minutes to the duration of any food you're taking. And Liquid Efficiency, this is what you really need, and this is why I gave up War Mount, so my fast mount and everything. I gave it up for Liquid Efficiency, because you'll see, you'll just be drinking potions a lot until you find this fine rhythm between siphoning attack potion. You drink potions a lot, so this will make a bit of a difference. Then for the warfare tree, we are using Foresight. After you drink a potion, the cost of your magic and stamina and healing abilities used within 6 seconds are reduced by 75%. This is also a big help to sustain, because as soon as you use a potion, if you're healing after using that potion, you pay attention to your bar, you will see it won't go down, because your spells will just be so cheap. It's just very, very nice to have. It helps a lot with sustain also when you're getting in these heavy, very heavy fights. Our second slottable is Unassailable. Reduces damage taken from area of effect by 2% per stage. The third one is Ironclad. Reduce the damage taken by direct attacks by 2%. And the last one is Resilience. It grants us critical resistances. One of the things you can potentially change if you're feeling uncomfortable is change Unassailable for Duelist rebuff. Since you're running Mirage, you already have access to Major Evasion, which reduces your AoE damage by 20%. This is exactly the same, like, this is 10%, so you can potentially just change Unassailable for Duelist rebuff if you need to. I like it this way, because I tend, if I'm fighting Nightblades, or people who just use Dizzy and Execute a lot, I just tend to teleport away and get some distance between us. And Shade, I rely on Shade a lot and somewhat Mist for him. But if you feel uncomfortable with a single target, you just swap out Unassailable for Duelist rebuff. On the red CP, I am playing with Juggernaut, which will also proc when Mist form is up. Celerity for the extra speed, just because I can. Expert Evasion, pretty much free roll dodging. And Slippery is also pretty much needed, and it helps a lot with stamina management, because Break Free is still pretty expensive. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this build. I've said everything I wanted to. I hope you'll have as much fun as I did. It's not a conventional build by any means, but if you can make it work, you'll be very difficult to kill. And it's also just nice that Nightblade got some love eventually. Really appreciated. So yeah, I hope you liked this video and this will have helped you shaking up your healing builds a little bit, and see you next time around. Bye bye!